Get out of me, Congress, President Pelosi.
Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards. That was Jamie burping in the middle of my intro, but we're going to keep it.
Let's keep it because
It's a keeper.
I've had nothing but coffee to drink today. And
Dude, I've had 2 pots of coffee today, like legit.
I'm cramping from lack of fluids.
I've drank a lot of water, too.
I have not.
Oh, I've been killing. So I've been on this kick. Like, my goal is to drink a gallon of water a day. But when you drink 2 pots of coffee and a gallon of water, you have to in turn pee a lot. So I had to cut back on both about 1 o'clock today, 2 o'clock or so I'd have time to drain out before the show started.
Well, my throat cramped up just before we started recording.
That I had nothing to do with it, I swear.
I'm not sure if it's the Republicans or the Democrats that were screwing me. Oh, maybe both.
Probably.
Yep.
I would say. Neither one. You've never done very well with either one.
No.
They've always both taken advantage of you pretty well.
Did I ever tell you that I interned for this Capitol Hill only magazine, newspaper, publishing company back in the day called the Congressional Quarterly?
No.
I did.
Was that so that was more of a conservative-based newspaper?
Well, being a history major, it was offered to me because I
You
got
were
an
in
A in one guy's class, so he liked me. He set it up.
So I have this issue with college. And
well, when I went, it was cheap.
No, my issue is a history major. What does that do? Like, how does that set you up for a career?
Do you either need to get a PhD in history and teach it to other people, or
you would have
go to law school? It's a great alternative to pre-law.
You would have to teach history to
minions,
college students, basically, to make it worth it. I mean, what I'm saying is to get your college degree, just a bachelor's degree is what, $40,000 nowadays?
Yeah, it was like $800 a semester when I went.
What job are you going to get with a history major?
Air conditioning. Outside sales air conditioning.
I mean, that's my point.
Like, I was a branch manager too.
So I went to art school, okay? I'm not dissing your history major. Well, that's about
as wasteful as a history degree.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not dissing your history major because I did better. I went to art school, and instead of finishing that, I decided to go take out more loans and go to regular school and get a degree in marketing and sales. But at least that can apply to my current job.
Oh, history majors are very good at bar trivia or Jeopardy.
Yeah. I've never seen you on Jeopardy, though.
I'm not going to apply to Jeopardy.
Why not?
Because I watch it religiously.
So what?
And the current host kind of pissed me off. I would argue with her and get booted from the show.
So when you say you were a history major, what history were you majoring in? Like, what history were you studying?
Oh, God. You really want me to go there?
I'm asking this question because...
Okay, it's a real fine night. I did 19th century social history of Washington, D.C. was my major.
What's that mean?
Then I studied parties.
Like, when you say social...
During Jacksonian democracy. Like, he had a big cheese wheel when he had the inauguration. The people, he let everyone come in and they destroyed the White House. They also grabbed this cheese, which was old as crap, probably moldy, and stomped it in the carpet. It was so bad that Jackson had to request from Congress $50,000 in 1820-something money to repair the White House.
From the cheese?
Yes. And, well, they also were stealing stuff, furniture, curtains.
So when you say parties, you're not talking about Republican Democrat parties. You're talking about get-together parties.
Well, a lot of that has to do with...
You said you studied 19th century parties.
Yes.
Colonial parties. Now,
No, not colonial. Jacksonian period.
Okay, but you just
Antebellum
when
would
you
be
say parties,
more exact.
when you say parties, you're talking about like get-togethers, right?
Well, here's the thing. The party system had not played out completely yet.
Okay.
So the weird thing is, congressmen and senators don't screw the public like they do now.
Okay.
So they didn't have a lot of money. They had to maintain a place to live in D.C. and their home in whatever district or state they lived in. So they went to rooming houses. People would open rooming houses for all the congressmen and senators to be able to live during the legislative period.
So this is before they were making billions of dollars a year.
Yeah, they
couldn't afford.
They didn't have that kind of money. A lot of these guys went broke serving their country. They were not. There were some dirty characters out there.
When's the last time a politician went broke while in office, while serving the country?
Grant. He had to write his autobiography to pay off his debts and leave some money for his children when he had cancer.
What year was that?
That would have been the mid to late 1860s.
So you didn't learn this in college?
Oh, yeah, I learned that in college, too. So what would happen is they found that people would vote based on their boarding house.
Okay.
Because they ate meals with them. And they lived together. Like, they would go to their own bedroom. Some didn't have any money where they had to double up or triple up.
This ain't like that boarding house that Franklin went to in London, is it?
Oh, Hellfire Club?
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that next year. No.
Next week.
What a lot of people don't understand is Ben Franklin was the Elon Musk of the colonial period. We didn't drink our energy drinks. Brad just threw them away, so no drinking.
We drank them. They were empty.
Oh, you're not supposed... Come on. The drivers, when they fake drink, they'll go, oh, look, we fake drank our Coca-Cola.
Here's your fake Coca-Cola.
So, Brad, the Hellfire Club was... I'd like to thank my sponsors, not Coca-Cola. Card and Plumbing, though.
Designs by Sydney for this wonderful agua.
H2O.
H2O.
Oh.
That's H-T-W-O. Oh.
Well, that's what I said, but it sounded like...
That would make a good sticker. H2O with two spelled out.
I have some water, too. Look.
I put water in my cup.
It's not mine because...
It makes me look like
I don't have a Costco anywhere near my house. So
it's like
this is yours.
It's like I'm... What's that movie? I forgot.
There's lots of movies, Brad. I mean...
I said like a brain
Fast
fart.
10, that was horrible. Cheech
and Chong.
Oh.
He's like, that's
Oh,
not
the
water,
judge.
man.
That's freaking vodka.
Yeah.
They use a different term.
Yeah, when he grabs the water, spits it out. Yeah, that's a great movie. Love that movie. Hey,
They got to remake it with iPhones.
they should just modernize it. No, everything they modernize, they screw up. Bring it into the 90s.
Right, and change it a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Dude, where's my Tesla?
Elon would be cool with you making something that's still funny.
Would he?
Yeah, he's an interesting character.
I
that's
just
for sure.
sent him a DM on Twitter.
Asking to sponsor
Tell him
the
I had
show.
this great idea to build a submarine and do deep water tourism. He has not replied.
I just don't think that's a market that currently you're going to be able to get into easily. Like,
Dude was getting $250,000 a passenger.
yeah, but dude didn't have any of the certifications he was supposed to have. I mean, this ship was made out of plastic and carbon fiber. It's essentially this.
Oh, but the end units,
We're going to go look at the Titanic.
the pure titanium's still down there.
He didn't make it. Yeah.
They say their bodies is just, red.
They said
Gooey
they said they
water.
probably died really fast. So that's one.
Quicker than a bullet to the brain.
That's
That's one good thing about it.
yeah, that's a plus, definitely. Honestly, I was thinking about like, I know it might sound morbid, but if I had to pick between implosion and running out of oxygen,
You could do it with a really cool submarine ride.
I'm thinking about implosion though. Like if you had to pick between the two ways to die, if God said, get on this sub and you're going to die.
So you want to put a pinhole in it.
You're either going to die from A, the sub imploding on itself, or B, the sub running out of oxygen and you just
You
suffocate.
fall asleep, but it might take a long time.
So which one would you pick, A or B?
Implosion.
Yeah, I'm all. I mean, they said this thing imploded like 3 hours after launch.
Well, they were just sitting there playing with the PlayStation joystick.
That's crazy, man.
Going,
Like,
oh,
I
this
was
is awesome. This is all, and then just.
it looks like a sperm whale,
I thought it looked like sperm, but
or maybe a sperm whale sperm.
because that end kind of looked like a tail.
Yes, it looked
They should
like
have made
semen.
it. They should have made it wiggle.
There was a
Semen belong in the sea.
well, they put them in the sea, and then they didn't belong in the sea. No, I hate that it happened. I hate it. Thoughts and prayers to all the families that lost loved ones during that. I mean,
But you
it's
know
a
what?
horrible thing.
If you can afford $250,000 a ticket,
It just
I think
seems cheap.
financially,
It seems
fin-
cheap to go 2.5
I think
miles
the-
to the bottom of the ocean.
the survivors are probably financially okay.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you see where Captain Ahab, who was driving with his joystick,
Yeah.
CEO of Ocean, what was that? Ocean's 15,
OCC?
Ocean 17,
Something like Oceanics. I don't remember.
Titan. It was called the
Yeah,
Titan.
the Titan made by Oceanic.
His wife is the great granddaughter of Isidore Straus, who was the founder of Macy's, who died on the Titanic. Now his remains are next to them.
Now
They were the old couple in the movie that refused to get on the boat.
Yeah, I read that article.
That's
I saw
creepy,
where
dude.
James Cameron came out. You know, he's an expert.
Maybe they didn't approve of the marriage. The ghost
Maybe.
went and poked a little hole in the side and said, "You're going to implode."
What about the U.S. Navy knowing about it on Sunday, but nobody admitted to knowing
That's
about it until Thursday?
Top secret stuff, dude.
Or is it a distraction?
Should they even have released that the Navy heard it?
I wouldn't have.
I say no.
If you're going to keep that, if you're
Because
not
you're
going to,
monitoring Russian subs all over the ocean if you're like 60 miles away
and now you've just admitted to it.
and heard a whale fart out in the ocean and said, "Oh, that ain't a whale fart. That's too loud. Too many decibels.
Too many decimals.
That sounds like a Russian sub blew up."
That sounds like the Titan imploded. Nope, couldn't have been that.
No, because that is not certified.
Well,
Why would that be going down there?
Yeah, that definitely didn't happen.
Anyway, that's just whack.
But it was cold.
Well, they didn't feel anything.
I took an ice bath this weekend. That was
I
cold.
saw that on your short.
Yeah, it was. Ever
So
since
did you go from like 3-inch weenie to a half-inch?
Dude, it was so cold, man. Like it.
Did you have to warm it up to pee?
No, it takes
Really?
it takes your breath.
Did it
away.
make it bigger?
No,
Oh,
no,
shoot.
it takes your breath away. Like when I stood in it, I knew. So I knew I was recording it. So that kind of helped. In my head, I'm thinking, I've only got 15 seconds for this short.
This is just a click whore jumping in an ice bath.
Exactly. So I knew I
How
had
many hits
to.
did you get?
I don't know. I haven't even went back and looked at it.
I haven't looked at it either.
I honestly, I haven't even been on. I've really stayed offline all weekend, just messing around the house. But I went online. I read about it. I heard about the whole ice bath thing a long time ago, and Denny Hamill was talking about it on his show after Dale Jr. talked about it. Denny was talking about how it's between 50 and 60 degrees, somewhere around there. I always thought an ice bath was freezing cold, but apparently not. So I looked at it, and the optimal temperature is 52 to 58 degrees or 59 degrees. So I got it down to 56, 57 degrees. And I got in it and it was freezing. Like my feet instantly hurt. It was so cold, but I knew I only had 15 seconds to sit down and to make a short. And I needed to show a picture of me dumping the ice in it too to make the short. So I just went for it, man. I just sat down, and I will not lie, I made it a minute, and then my wife's like, "You were only in there for like 20 or 30 seconds, honey." I'm like, "No, I was in there longer." She's like, "No." So I jumped back in, and then I did a minute
Now that's
20.
just stupid, Brad.
And then I did a minute 20. And then I
Oh.
went back and watched the video. Come to find out I was correct. I did do a minute originally, so I did 2 minutes, 20 seconds in an ice bath.
You know, I got this friend.
I felt better too.
You know what he does when his wife says something like that?
Verifies before he jumps in the ice bath.
No. They're going to divorce, though.
What?
We're no longer friends.
What's he do?
Abuses his wife whenever she says, corrects him or anything.
Oh, that friend.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
He's a nutbag.
He's definitely out there. I mean, that's some Old Testament.
Dude, I was on the phone with him and he went nuts.
He went Old Testament.
I'm like,
Eye
dude,
for an eye.
chill out. He goes, I ain't talking to you.
Wham, bam, wham, wham.
I'm talking to my wife. I was like, that's even worse, dude. I'm going to hang up now.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Before I did the ice bath, I went and worked out.
Did you work out better knowing the ice was coming?
I worked out. So Saturday's like the
It
day
was hot, dude.
I do more on Saturday than any other day of the week when I work out because Sunday's my off day. So I knew I was going to put in extra on Saturday. So immediately after I got done working out, I went and did the ice bath within 30 minutes. And every like aching pain I had instantly went away when I got in that ice bath. I mean, obviously it's so flipping cold. Everything goes away. You go numb. So my wife's like, are you just numb or did it really help? I'm like, well, right now I'm numb. So that kind of feels great. I'm not hurting anywhere. But as the day went on, I never hurt. And usually I'm sore just from working out that hard. You'll get sore. So I mean, for $3 a bag of ice, I'm not going to be doing an ice bath every day, but one a month, I'm open to it. Need an ice machine. Then you could just get in the ice machine. Wouldn't that be better?
That'd be awesome.
I bet I couldn't do 3 minutes in an ice machine.
I made some badass pizza Friday night.
Did you take an ice bath?
No.
How was the pizza?
It was better than Santelli's.
Did you see in the notes about Santonio? What is it?
Santino's?
Santino's Pizzeria. So last week we did stupid news because there was no racing. Well, this week I get all these pop-ups about stupid news stories.
See, that's what happens when you Google stuff and don't clear your history, dude.
It reminds me of my Amazon browser list right after Christmas. Like for this show, if you listen to this show during the off season, we did crazy gift ideas.
I think we ought to do it again after Thanksgiving.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do it again. But my Amazon search history and recommendations were screwed up for 2 months. Remember the Hookers and Blow book?
Oh, they're talking about my air conditioning customer.
No, no, not the Hookers. The Hookers and Blow. There's a kids. There's a kids book out there called Hookers and Blow. Look it up on Amazon if you haven't. If you've ever heard of it, look it up on Amazon.
Is that banned now?
No, it's still there. I saw a lady on Instagram yesterday reading, or she was like, "Look at where societies went. We have a book called Hookers and Blow for children." Like, yeah, but it's funny. Hookers is a tow truck, Blow is a snowblower. Hookers and Blow. It's funny for the kids and the parents alike.
You just don't want your kids when you're visiting someone's house saying, "Hey, let's read about some hookers and blow, Dad."
Yeah, you do.
Dad, did you bring hookers and blow here?
So Santino's Pizzeria in Columbus, Ohio made the news recently.
Do you know there is also a Santino's Pizza in Anor, South Carolina, just before you get to Myrtle Beach?
Well, this Santino's has 2 locations. One's in Columbus and the other's in Ohio somewhere else.
Oh, this must be a cousin.
This ain't the same Santino's. But they made the news for putting a sign out front that said, "Now hiring non-stupid people." Apparently, they put this sign out a few months ago, and it's just kind of went viral on social media, but I think it's great. Matter of fact, I'm thinking more companies around this area could probably use these kind of signs. In particular, every restaurant in Fayetteville could definitely use a sign, but they have to fire the stupid people to make room for the non-stupid people. Actually, you don't.
Have you been to that new burger
joint? If they're that
joint
stupid, they wouldn't know.
Have you been to the Fayetteville burger joint?
That burger or whatever it's called?
Yeah, they're very good at customer service.
Yeah, we didn't have any issues there.
Good burger.
Last time I went, it was very good service.
Better than Five Guys and cheaper.
So in Indiana, the Lake County Sheriff's Department reported a family was looking through their grandfather's old belongings after he had passed away when they found a handheld explosive device, a grenade, and it went off. Somebody reportedly pulled the pin on the device and it detonated.
They can't go to Santino's to work?
No.
Okay.
No, they were, whoever pulled the pin, like somebody pulled the pin and it went off. Duh. The father was killed. You weren't supposed to laugh.
Here's where I'm going with this. So Grandpa was dumb enough to bring a live grenade home, right?
Correct.
Then his son was dumb enough to pull the pin.
I don't know. It doesn't say who pulled the pin. It's an ongoing investigation.
Kind of like evolution there working for us.
Honestly, I think one of the kids
Little Darwinism.
One of the children pulled the pin. So he had a 14 and an 18-year-old son, and then there was a woman.
I would hope it was him that pulled the father, because
I think it was one of the kids.
Did they survive?
Yes.
I'd hate to live with that.
Everybody survived
because that's
minor
ignorance.
Damages except the father.
That's ignorance
holding
where the adult is stupid. That's horrible for those kids to have to deal with that.
I'm thinking it was probably one of the kids.
See, my dad had a phosphorus grenade in Vietnam.
Did it scare you?
It didn't. It wasn't the pineapple type. It was smooth round.
Upside down pineapple?
No, that would have been swingers.
Swinging.
I don't think swingers use hand grenades.
Maybe. That's what we use to keep them away from us.
They use them on Epstein Island.
Get back!
So my dad, the bottom was drilled out, the explosive was pulled out, and the firing pin was pulled out of the actual pin, well, the igniter, whatever you want to call it, in it.
The detonator?
Detonator. But he used to unscrew it, and I don't remember exactly what he'd say, but he would say, "This is how we'd sabotage them and drop them out of helicopters on the enemy." So they go like, "Oh, free grenades!" And they'd pull the pin to throw them at Americans, and they'd blow up because there was no delay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's insane, but it's actually brilliant.
He said the other thing they'd do is get mason jars from the PX.
What war was this?
Vietnam.
Okay. That was after the World War II?
Drop the hand grenade in there. Pull the pin before you drop the very top, and make sure the handle's in the mason jar. It wouldn't let the handle come off. And they would drop it, and when the glass broke,
it would open up
on the ground. Yeah, it would spring the handle off and blow up.
I saw that in a movie one time, like Under Siege or something.
Oh, I never saw that.
You never saw Under Siege?
I saw Under Siege, but I don't remember the old hand grenade.
Maybe it wasn't Under Siege. It was one of those with Steven Seagal or Jean-Claude Van Damme. One of those movies.
Or was it Platoon?
No, I've never seen Platoon.
I haven't seen any of those movies in like 40 years.
I haven't seen Platoon ever. We're watching The Pacific right now. That's an interesting show. But, as I was watching that show, The Pacific, I realized that I don't know that we'll ever see a war fought like they were fought back then. Again, today in modern
we fight
time,
to lose now.
Well, in modern day, you fight with drones and chemicals. I mean, you don't see the hand-to-hand. Like, they say the guys that went to, like, World War I, II, and Vietnam, the reason they came back so messed up is because it was all hand-to-hand physical combat.
Do you think that Wagner guy in Russia, when he turned on Putin?
Yugoslavia?
Didn't he used to drive in NASCAR?
Well, he's gone now.
Well,
he's going to be killed, right?
Putin doesn't care where you live. He's going to poison your butt.
Hey, a woman in Arkansas, which, as we know, is the septic tank of the South. Apparently, some parts of Arkansas aren't that bad. But
who told you that?
A preacher.
Was he from Arkansas?
He lived in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
But isn't that where the college is? Most college towns are really nice.
Well, he said where we were at was pretty rough. So even he agreed that he did not specifically agree that it was the septic tank of the South, but he agreed that we were in the rougher area, the not so nice area. I mean, we were at the knockoff Loves. Come on. I mean, it'd be like if they had a Buc-ee's, it wouldn't even be a Bucky Beaver. It would just be like a chipmunk.
Well, I'm going to tell you something I didn't tell you while we were at that Loves.
What?
I had to drop a deuce horribly. I mean, it was hurting. Right?
At the Loves?
At the Loves. While I was pumping gas on that return from our championship cannonball run.
Cannonball run champions right here, 1 and 2.
And I'm holding it back. I'm like, I'm only... Priest only has a 10-gallon tank. So I'm like, I'm only going to put like $26 of gas in here. And my stomach's rumbling, growling. And I'm like sucking it in. I get done. I click no receipt, throw it in there, and go running in. I saw you leaving the bathroom as I was jogging in there. And, the worst thing in the world when you have to go bad is the closer you get, the more you release. I felt a little heat in my underwear.
So you was in the process of crapping your pants.
Well, it didn't stain the underwear, but I got my pants down, and I kind of shot it like a basketball player. It didn't all hit the toilet.
Oh, my God. You saying you crapped on the wall?
There was some splatter there.
On the wall?
But what was sad, being a fake loves like that?
You didn't even notice?
I wasn't the first one.
I don't think I've ever.
It took some extra scrubbing to clean myself up.
I'm sure it did.
I pulled my pants down, my underwear, even the back of my shirt, make sure there wasn't any ricochet.
You sharted on the wall, dude.
Make sure there was no ricochet.
You sharted on the wall.
But you know what? I was okay after that because we
No,
made it all the way back to Georgia after that.
Are you ever really okay if you shard on the wall? Like, once you sharded, you can't unshard on the wall.
Right, there's a first time for everything. Right?
I'm hoping that.
I'm hoping not to repeat that again. Next time, I will go directly to the restroom instead of pumping gas.
So next time we run we're not doing the Cannonball Run again, but Jamie's going to build us a camper to pull behind the Prius so we can do the Spanish Trail.
I've watched stuff Saturday night.
The Snell on the Spanish Trail.
I've watched how to make it. It's called a foaming. You get 2-inch thick insulation foam and fiberglass it.
Is it like plywood on the outside?
Nah.
What is that?
It's just foaming. You run your electricity to the floor. So you get like 2x4s and you put it down.
I'm down.
They say it works. I mean, you can make a teardrop and everything.
I'm down for it. And then
Maybe I can get it built before the 24-hour Daytona this January.
Then we have somewhere to sleep.
Well, I'm going to put a TV in it, and we'll get a generator.
Hey, you heard Joe Gibbs sold a minority stock in their organization to the same team or the same company who owns the Washington Comrades?
Redskins, you mean?
Commandeers.
Commentators?
Yes.
I grew up.
The Commendators.
I grew up going to Redskins games.
Did you?
They're my second favorite team after the Falcons.
That's the Redskins in Washington, D.C., not Washington State?
Yes, those guys.
I'm not the only one who thought that, okay?
But, you know, when they had
I can't be the only person on this planet
They
who
won a
thought
ton
Washington
of
Redskins was in
Super Bowls.
Washington State.
under Joe Gibbs. If it was I'm not even going to go there. Never mind. We'll get some hate mail on our Twitter feed.
Oh, we already got hate metal. They talked all kind of crap about us because we were negative on Garth Brooks. I can't remember the dude's name. His name was Joey something. But
Joey Buttwipe?
Joey something got all pissed off.
That's a listener
on
we
YouTube.
don't need. He's got a problem with opinions? He has no opinions?
Isn't
his reply an opinion?
But
yeah.
That's the problem. Like, there's one group of individuals in this country. Actually, there's probably a lot more than that.
Well, they're
group.
from both parties, too.
Yeah.
They're the extremes.
But if you don't agree with their opinion, they get mad. Like, I was reading it on Twitter even. There's people on Twitter who, one guy said that he thought the IMSA race was better than the Cup race, and they got all pissed off and attacked him.
Well, you know, Twitter is the biggest hate group in America.
Yeah.
They're bigger than the Klan, the Nazis.
Everybody on Twitter, not everybody on Twitter. I mean, we got some pretty good people.
Trump's
on Twitter
senior staff.
we talk to.
Is that a hate group?
Yeah.
Biden's staff, another hate group.
Another hate group. Biden. The administration, basically. No, it's just crazy, man. Whatever. I don't care. Josh Berry will officially become the new driver for the number 4. Officially.
Let's give him a nickname. Dingle.
Dingleberry?
Yeah, Dingleberry.
I think Josh is going to...
Dude.
The biggest rumor...
SHR sucks.
The biggest rumor in NASCAR right now is that Stuart Haas Racing is going to be leaving Ford and going to Chevrolet. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I think it would be the best move they could make.
Well, look at the matchup between the crew chief and the driver in the 4-car. They're able to pull out top 10s when the other 3 are lucky to finish in the 20s.
That's because it's the driver.
Briscoe couldn't even finish the race without getting whacked by Juarez, dude.
Sorass hit. I mean, Daniel Sorass wrecked before the race, and Daniel Sorass wrecked after the race. He's the only driver to wreck twice at Chicago. I mean,
did you notice his toe link was broken?
Yes,
the rear toe link was busted
after he got hit. Actually, that was his fault though. He wrecked. I mean, the dude is the only driver on the track. Daniel Sorass is the only driver on the track to wreck twice and not at all during the race.
Well, he's got to beat his partner and get a win this season now.
I think it's pretty cool that Ross Chastain won. Honestly.
Let's talk about the owner walking back what he said like a month ago. when he bragged that he told
Yeah, so around
Ross to
about a
calm
month
down
about a month ago, if you don't know, Justin
on
Marks
XM radio.
went on Sirius XM radio and said that he told Ross to bag it down, chill out. Him and Ross had a talk. Now, because everybody on, I don't know, planet Earth who has an opinion about NASCAR said that ever since he made those comments, Justin Marks made those comments about Ross Chastain, Ross's finishing has just went down the drain, which it has. And then yesterday, all they wanted to talk about yesterday in the media and all weekend was how Justin Marks was like, yeah, I never told him anything. I never said that. I never said anything.
Dude lied.
I don't care what you did and didn't say. Honestly, it doesn't matter to me.
Sometimes your best answer is no answer at all.
Boom. 100% agree with that. I don't know that Ross and Justin necessarily had a conversation, to be honest with you. They probably did.
Well, his driving style changed.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Unless the car quality just dropped off that bad.
About the only wacky thing he did was split those cars the last, third lap?
Yeah. But if you look, Ross Chastain, he didn't dominate the race, but dude led like 99 laps, right? Yeah.
Hey, he knew how to cut that air.
He led
so
99 of 300 laps. Toyota led the rest of the race. I mean, he's the only Chevy that led any prominent laps. Kyle Busch led 12 laps.
Kyle Busch kept starting in the back and driving through the field, dude.
Kyle Busch had a flat tire.
What the hell?
Kyle Busch got caught speeding on pit road, which Kyle Busch and pit road penalties, I mean, it's kind of, I think RCR is pushing the envelope a little too tight on Busch.
That's like sundown in the evening.
I think
it's going to happen.
Well, RCR needs to realize Kyle is not Austin Dillon. Kyle can run. He can race. He's good. So you don't have to get everything on pit road. He can make it up on the track too.
What do you think this means for Austin Dillon having such a
Well, if
great
you ask
race?
Chocolate Myers, he'll tell you that they're not that far off. Kyle Busch has 3 wins. That's 1, 2, 3. Austin Dillon has 0.
How many did he get last year?
Austin?
Yeah.
1 maybe at the most.
Uh-oh.
We'll give him 0.
They've had more wins this year than they've had in the last 5?
Kyle Busch has had...
I know that Austin won a 500, Daytona.
I think he's won twice. I think he's got 3 or 4 wins.
And he got a Dega win too?
3 or 4.
He's super speedway.
He won a 600 too. Austin Dillon did.
Yeah, he did.
What I'm saying is Chocolate Myers wants us to think that Austin and Kyle are close. They're not. They're not close at all.
So Kyle finishes in the top 10 almost every week unless he wrecks. Austin finishes. He's had a couple of top 10s. He showed some promise.
Austin Dillon finished 13th yesterday.
Almost in the top 10.
It takes Austin Dillon all day. He don't run up top. He
passes everyone once.
He gets lucky.
Busch passes everyone 3-4 times in the race.
Exactly. And that's what he did yesterday. I mean, he had a speeding penalty. He got caught up in the wreck with Blaney and Brad Keselowski, and he had a flat tire. So that's 3 different times he had to come from the back.
Corey showed some good form coming in at 20th.
Yeah.
I liked his, what do they call it? I call it paint job. They call it livery. I liked his livery this week.
Looked good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
I liked it too. Now, Ross Chastain, one of the things I did back talking on him a little bit.
Back talked him? Did he order you around?
Yeah. Well, I said, no, that ain't how you talk to me, Ross.
Did you say, hey, man, Karen?
I said, hey, Karen, chill out. What would be a man, Karen? We've had that discussion. What would we come up with?
Ken?
Ken?
Is that what?
Well, we'll just call him Karen.
Karen.
Man, Karen. I like man, Karen.
That's transgender. Let's keep it just Karen, male or female.
Yeah. It'll go both ways. It's non-gender. That's it. It's
nuggets or non-nugget? Karen.
Karen. Karen has both nuggets and non-nuggets.
No, and that's a half a night, half a right.
Half a nighty night.
Stalagmite, something.
That's the one word we've never gotten right on this show. No, back to Ross Chastain. It was really cool to see Ross win. I enjoyed his emotion. Like you could see, that was like a huge weight lifted off his chest to win that race yesterday. I mean, you could tell it's like he proved himself. He felt like, I'm sure.
He seemed genuine, but he's been so fake in post-race interviews before. I haven't embraced him yet. I embraced him last year, but
I enjoyed it. I
I loved his.
I enjoyed everything about his win. I didn't get excited, but honestly,
I'm happy for him.
I would rather have seen Ross win than Truex.
I'm happy for him.
I'm not a Truex fan. He's just
You don't like the beard? You got beard.
It has nothing to do with the beard.
You sure?
He has no personality.
Are you sure, Brad?
He's like Chase Elliott's brother. Zero. Did you see that?
I think you're jealous of his beard.
Did you see that gymnast from LSU? The pictures on Twitter of her and Chase Elliott.
Is that like Angie's List?
Gymnast.
Oh, with a G
from LSU.
Yeah.
She was hanging out with Chase Elliott this weekend. I saw pictures on Twitter.
I thought he had a different girlfriend.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, she's a pretty girl, so.
At least he's keeping it in the Southeastern Conference.
Hoorah. Is that what they say?
Hoorah!
Now, what do they say in Louisiana?
Duh.
I ain't French.
Duh.
Congratulations to Carson Hocevar. He won the truck race.
Dude, Carson has a big ass mouth.
Oh, I know.
His teeth are the size of elephant teeth.
I like Carson, man. He's growing.
He's like a great white shark showing those shinies.
What's cool about Carson is we've been able to watch him kind of grow up. Like,
he was the Ross Chastain of truck.
He's matured over the last 2 years, and we've got to witness it, and it's kind of cool. So congrats to him.
He's showing some mad skill.
Haley Deegan, she kept up her streak.
She still race?
She kept up her streak of wrecking within the first 10 laps.
Who did she say wrecked her this week?
She didn't have nobody touch her. She actually wrecked all on her own. She couldn't even blame anybody. Ross wrecked her.
So at what point do you think all the money she gets from her social media isn't enough to keep her in a car?
So they keep saying that she needs to move up to the Xfinity series.
Why? She hasn't proved herself in the truck series.
That's my problem. Like,
she's in a top team car.
She's in a championship caliber truck. She should win every weekend.
Her teammates win.
Exactly. So I don't think she needs to move. At some point, you just got to wash your hands and move on. Like, maybe she's not as good as you want her to be. I wanted her to be good too.
I like her personally.
I love her dad, dude. Her dad is a phenomenal dirt bike rider.
Yeah.
Like, I've watched him do things on a motorcycle that blows your mind.
But you haven't?
Metal Militia, dude.
I've done it accidentally, but I got injured.
Yeah, that whiskey risk gets you every time.
Yeah.
But, you know, I really want to see her do well. I just don't think you're going to. Your buddy Almond Dinger won Saturday.
Why do you want to screw an almond?
He doesn't. He just wants to ding
Does he milk? Did he create almond milk?
Almond Dinger.
Right.
He did.
Yeah, he dinged it.
He dinged it and it came out.
With a dingler.
He dingered it. He dinged it with his dinger and it came out with
almond milk ought to sponsor him. Where's he from anyway? Russia?
Almond Dinger.
That sounds like a California name.
That's Canadian.
You sure that ain't LA made up stuff?
You know, it does sound like Northern California though, like Sonoma Valley.
Where do they grow the almonds at? It's in California.
The Almond Dingers of California. Yeah, it's definitely Californian.
See, when I was a kid, not old enough to work, and this company's been sold now, I was one of the original employees of it became a gigantic company and the family cashed out. But it's called Ann's House of Nuts. And I worked on the assembly line on the down low.
You was a nut.
So my job was sometimes after I'd go up to the hoppers on the assembly line and dump in almonds while the baggers down below bagged them. And then I had to get a box blade and cut all the labels off the boxes so no competitors would know where we bought it from. We bought it from Blue Diamond.
Don't they make dog food?
No, we never sold dog food.
Blue Diamond.
It's blue something.
It's blue and it's got a diamond on the logo.
Maybe they do. They do make it with almonds. I also learned, I ran the peanut butter machine.
How'd that go? What was her name?
I don't think you can screw up. Well, I took it over from a lady who got fired. It was one of the owners. He said, hey, look.
So that's why she didn't like you.
Like, it was so bad. We got started in their house, and then the neighbors complained about semis dropping off stuff. But let me get to my point. There was this. She was hot, man. She went to a college.
The peanut worker?
Yeah, the bagger.
Yeah.
I used to take almonds. I was like 14, 15 years old. So I was immature. She was like 18, 19, 20. I'd put the almonds in the hopper.
Are you saying you're more mature now?
Not really. But I'm happily married, so I don't throw almond dingers. So the hopper was up above the baggers.
Yeah.
And this wheel with different stages, you would dial in the weight and it would drop it in the bags. And then the labeler would get it. But anyway, I would throw almonds at her. And they called me the almond dinger.
Because you would ding the almond girl?
They thought I was trying to ding the almond girl.
And
but I was too young.
In reality, you were trying to ding the peanut girl.
Yeah.
The peanut butter girl.
Well, she got fired.
Did you watch the Xfinity race?
Who won?
We're talking about it right
Almond
now.
dinger?
We're talking.
Yeah,
we're literally talking about it right now.
I did watch it.
It's a good race. They wrecked a lot.
Dude.
I didn't think we were ever going to get that race started. Have
the
you
last
noticed
third of the race they didn't wreck? They figured it out.
The end of it they did.
It was ridiculous.
They got all the wrecking out of the way Saturday because Sunday they didn't wreck at all.
Well, they rubbered up the track.
They didn't even race. Like, it just seems really hard to pass in these cars. Like Sunday, the whole time you're waiting on a pass to happen and it just ain't happened.
Well, Almond Tater, why can he win
Almond Tater
in Xfinity,
Almond
but he
Bader?
can't win in Cup?
Almond Bader.
Almond Tinger?
Almond Bader. That's what we're going with.
Almond Milker.
The almond and the dinger.
I'm going to bring some almonds. We'll try to milk it.
You know how to make almond milk? You take the almonds.
Squeeze the udder on the almond.
You take the almonds, you chew them up in your mouth.
Oh, jeez. Really?
And then you go.
I don't like almond
and
milk.
then you spit it out. And then you got almond milk.
I think you smash it with a sledgehammer.
Almond milk it's like birds eat. They chew up the food and then they spit it in their baby bird's mouth. That's how you make almond milk.
I'm sure they got a pulverizer.
You know when almond milk goes bad, it gets sweeter?
Well, that's one reason not to eat it.
I like almond milk.
I like almonds.
My daughter's lactose intolerant. She has a sensitivity to it, so she drinks almond milk. But she uses the vanilla almond milk sweetened, which it actually makes...
Does she drink it with her coffee and she's what, 12?
No, she drinks
You don't let her drink coffee?
She drinks her coffee black.
Oh, like her dad?
Like her dad.
Okay.
No, but she likes her cereal with almond milk because it's sweeter. I mean, I like my cereal with almond milk because it's sweeter too. But
I don't think they had almond milk.
Have you ever had it?
Kid.
You ever had almond milk?
Yeah, it was weird off. It was like...
Oh, you got to get the vanilla
yellow.
Sweetened almond milk.
We have it at the house. I just can't do it. My brain won't allow me to. It could be the best dang milk on the face of the planet. My brain won't let me do it.
All right, so don't forget, sometimes crap, it does happen. And sometimes you need a plumber to fix it. In that case, we would call Danny Carden Plumbing, the official plumber of the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. The guys you call when crap happens. You don't like any milk?
Nope, no milk.
What do you eat your cereal with? Water?
Don't eat cereal. I'll eat it without milk. But then it's just like having potato chips.
You don't drink any kind of milk whatsoever.
I'm telling you, I was like 19 years old last time I drank milk.
I mean, that's a vital source of vitamin D and potassium.
Supplements, dude.
Okay. I mean, as long as you're supplementing something for your bone health.
Here's something for you. Vitamin D helps your bones, right?
Yep.
Take too much, guess what you're short of?
Vitamin D?
Potassium.
So you have to take potassium.
Yep.
I didn't know. Are you allergic to it or you just don't like it?
I don't like milk.
Okay. I didn't know that.
It tastes nasty.
So Brad Keselowski, something happens.
I thought he was gonna.
He gets checked up or something, just doesn't go.
What's wrong with him, do you think?
I don't know. He dang near killed Ryan Blaney though.
3 Chi is not his sponsor. So what's he on? Illegal stuff?
No, he's probably on the. You can't say that nowadays. Like, I don't want him to be like drug tested because on our
like
show,
Almondinger?
Because on our show we said he was taking 3 Chi. You know.
But that's legal.
Kyle Busch is probably giving all the drivers free samples. Wouldn't you want to trick or treat at Kyle Busch's house this year?
Not with the kids.
Last year he was handing out M&Ms. This year the parents are going to be fighting. Like, get back! I'm going.
You think Dale Jr. handing out Bud Light?
No,
Here,
not anymore.
children, let's have a six-pack. Congratulations.
Oh, when he was sponsored by
Well, now he's got his
he was
High
sponsored
Rock,
by
dude. Now he's
Budweiser, not
handing
Bud
out-
Light. Budweiser. See, Budweiser.
Now he's handing
He never
out.
drove a Bud Light car. Don't say that about Dale Jr.
I was waiting for you to catch on.
I mean, I can't even think straight right
You
now.
think he drinks Bud Light now?
No, there's no way Dale Jr. drank a Bud Light.
Look, this. You want me to show you how you drink?
I would be
Look,
devastated.
This is how you drink Bud Light. Let me show you.
I saw what happened to you when you drank it.
That was a good Bud Light there.
That would be a short later.
Oh, jeez. I think my kids and wife subscribe to our channel.
Do they?
Yeah.
No, if you would know it if they subscribed. No, Ryan Blaney took a hard hit yesterday to the inside wall with no safer barrier. I didn't know we had any walls left on a NASCAR track that was bigger than a mile.
It was at a weird angle, though. So if you're going to cheap out, that's the place to cheap out. But, if you cheap out, guess where the cars are going to hit?
Jeff Gordon hit the exact same spot years ago, and they put safer barriers up
That
after
turned him
that.
into the Rainbow Warrior, didn't it?
Turned him
Hit
into
him so
something.
damn hard.
Knocked his teeth out. No, I mean, you saw Blaney
They
during.
put 80 pounds on him.
I would not. I hope and pray nothing's wrong with Ryan Blaney, but it would not shock me come Wednesday or Thursday to see a press release saying Ryan Blaney is not racing in Chicago.
Did he drop to the ground because he was hurt, or so they could look at him?
I guess look at him, but if you looked at his eyes when he did an interview after he came out of the care center, his eyes are glassed over.
Dude,
You can clearly see in his eyes that he took a hard hit, and I hope and pray he's all right.
He hit that thing full on, flat on with the bumper.
Now, I will say that car gave more than it did at the beginning of last
Lucky
year.
they didn't. They changed it.
If he would have been in the car,
His eyes would have been in his
Yeah.
windshield.
he wouldn't be walking.
He wouldn't be seeing. He'd be over.
Oh.
He would have to get his sister to break up.
I don't know about all that.
You don't think so?
No. Hey, you think
you don't think
you think
he would make-
Trackhouse got mad at Sorass for hitting Chase Briscoe?
I think they're talking about it today.
You think he got to feel like the biggest?
I don't know. If you're driving a Ford for SHR, you might be feeling like the biggest doof.
Well, Penske had a rough weekend too. They had the 6-hour endurance race taken away from them, and all their drivers finished 20th or worst. So
Well, I know
that's a bad day for them.
half of the people listen to us drive Fords, but they ain't got their shit together in NASCAR or in Super V8s.
I mean, I'm looking at buying a Ford right now. So,
Yeah, but you're not going to race it.
well, I mean, I might.
Wait, you're
Red
giving it
light,
to your
you know.
6-year-old kid. He might race it.
Nah, we got a better chance. It's more likely for me to get a speeding ticket than him. So,
You get that ST model.
I don't know what the difference is. We're looking at Ford
Well, that's their
Focuses.
supercharged, whatever,
Super duper.
Drift car.
Super European like.
It probably costs you a lot in insurance.
What's
I wouldn't do
SE stand for?
it.
Anyway?
ST.
ST super
Super thing.
super
Isn't that things?
Tactic.
Super
Super-
tattoo.
super thing.
Super tattoo. Super
Super thing.
team.
Super thing. I'm going with that.
I think Superman drove a Ford.
All right, you
a
want to jump?
Mustang.
You want to jump in? Twitter says.
Let's hear about some Twitter says, since we covered that Corey LaJoy. I wanted to bring something up.
Well, what else you want to bring up before we get off the racing? I mean, we're still talking about racing with Twitter says, but
So, who
Look at-
do you think has a better chance of winning? Michael McDowell in the Loves Ford, or our sometimes favorite driver Chase Elliott before the season's over?
I
and
mean,
getting into the playoffs.
there's a path for both to get into the playoffs.
But doesn't Chase, if he doesn't win, have to be perfect?
I think Chase Elliott wins a race before Michael McDowell, but I could easily see Michael McDowell winning a race this season. Michael McDowell is yesterday.
He's
he made
outperforming his equipment.
Well, he made a mistake yesterday and missed pit road, and that kind of threw his whole day off. But he usually runs a very clean race, which is why he finishes so well. So I'm going with Mike. I'm going with Chase though. Still, I mean, he's in Hendrick's equipment, and he's a great driver. I'm not taking anything away from Chase Elliott's ability as a driver. It's just,
How about between Corey?
I think Chase has missed so many races this season. They've had no consistency to get in a rhythm together as a team. So it's on Chase. He got hurt, and then he got suspended. As soon as he gets hurt, comes back, they start getting into a rhythm, he gets suspended. Now they're starting that rhythm all over again. So it's on Chase. Their performance is on Chase this season.
Do you think Ty Gibbs is performing well or underperforming in his rookie season?
I think he's performing well. I think Ty Gibbs.
What do you think the expectation should be for him? I
think Ty Gibbs is performing above expectations.
I agree.
He's finishing top 15.
If he finishes
consistently
top 20 this at the end of the season, it's been a successful.
I think
season.
Ty Gibbs makes the top 16.
Wow.
I think he makes the playoffs, either A on points or B with a race win.
Based on my points last week, I'm not going to make a prediction. Tyler Reddick was going to win it.
You've already looked at the points from last week?
He just spun out.
I had a really good week, and you had a really bad week.
Tyler did it to me.
No, Tyler definitely did it to you.
He stuck it to me, man.
I wasn't surprised by the other one, but Tyler, you had it until the dang tire fell off, honestly.
Well,
you got 14 points for Gibbs, and that's a good. I think that's what you would expect from Gibbs, right?
Yeah.
So, Eric Jones finished in 8th yesterday. Heck, I mean, that was a great run for Legacy Motorcycles.
Yeah, and, he's out driving his car because, they're getting no help from Chevy. Now they're
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're still on version 1.0 of everything at Chevy when every other Chevy team's on 3.0.
They stopped sharing information as soon as they heard the rumor.
But see, with them leaving and going to – this is my prediction. This is my crazy prediction. Motorcycle Club of America Legacy is going to Toyota. Stuart Haas is coming to Chevy. After the next season, Haas is going to back out as an owner or sell his stake in the company to Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale Jr. and Tony Stewart will take SHR, change the name of it, obviously.
I can see that.
And it'll still be a 3-car team.
Tony can go drag race.
Or Dale Jr. buys Rickwell Racing at the end of this year. I can see that happening too. But
I don't know if I'd buy a team at the end of this year with everything still up in the air about the franchises.
I wouldn't buy a team at the end of this year. Not with what they're wanting. But I could see Rick Ware leaving.
But after hearing that Dale Jr. sold $278 million worth of T-shirts.
In 1 year?
He got it.
Yeah.
He got it.
I could see him and Tony partnering up. Because you got the Josh Berry connection there. Tony used to drive for Dale Jr. He drove the orange 3 doors down Chance 2 Motorsports car for Dale Jr. If I'm not mistaken, it was Richmond, but it could have been Bristol.
Man, they're buddies.
Yeah. It would be a match made in heaven. That would be a Legacy Motor Club. Hate that name.
So what would it be called? Stewart Earnhardt? Earnhardt Stewart?
Dirty Mo.
Is that going to piss off his stepmother?
Dirty Mo Racing.
Dirty Mo Show.
The Dirty Mo Show.
Wow, we're geniuses. Wow, how did we come up with that one?
The Dirty Mo Download. Maybe the Dell and Tony Download Racing. So.
Why not just download team? That sounds stupid.
So at 23, Matt Smith 23.
Is this racing related or Twitter says?
Well, Twitter says racing related, same thing.
What does Twitter say, Brad?
So he says Matt Smith 23 tweeted, so we have zero coverage of any pre-race, missed the anthem and command, and now cars are on the track. NBC went live with 2 to go before green.
So?
And we were hype for Fox to go away.
Yeah. Dude, did you not watch the race?
These Karens came out in full force. They moved the start of the race up like 20 minutes. There was going to be a pre-race. It was going to be about a 20-minute pre-race, I would imagine. You were going to see the anthem. You were going to see the invocation. You were going to see the flyover. You were going to see the start of the race. You were going to see all that good stuff.
Look, he's lying here. Read his next post.
Oh, I know. So
he's a liar because I watched it on NBC.
At 23, Matt Smith, 23. I am fully aware that NASCAR moved the start time up 17 minutes for the threat of weather. They put the post race on Peacock to eliminate it taking a cable slot. Don't tell me they couldn't do the same for pre-race. I think there's more that goes into it than switching channels to a streaming service only. But
I didn't switch.
No,
I saw post-race interviews for like 2 hours after the race.
Well, I fell asleep, but yes, post-race.
Well, here's something stupid.
What I don't understand, though, is would you rather them have moved the race up 20 minutes, Matt, or not, and then not get the whole race in? They moved it up so we as fans could watch the whole race.
What Fox was he watching where he thinks Fox is awesome?
Dude, NBC was night and day better than Fox.
Did you see what they did with their split screen? Instead of going to ad on one side, they showed racing back mid-pack.
Oh, I know.
What the heck? Fox couldn't think of that?
We got racing, I don't know, the whole race. If nothing was going on up front, Fox went to where the racing was happening, and they talked about it. They showed it.
Oh, and their director,
They
when they
were
started
excited.
talking about shit, their director would focus on it.
The
Whoa! Imagine that.
The one negative I will say about NBC yesterday was at the start of the race, they had Jeff and Dale down on pit road.
That was kind of loud.
And you couldn't hear what they were saying because of the exhaust being on both sides of the car is what I think is what Dale was trying to say. But they quickly realized you couldn't hear, and they stopped doing that. They ended that segment and moved on.
You mean they realized they made a mistake and corrected it?
They didn't have stupid cartoon characters for driver
I
pictures.
noticed that. Wasn't Mad Magazine characters.
Fox, you suck. Like, the truck race was almost unwatchable on Friday night. Now that Fox isn't covering the Cup race, Fox don't even send their broadcasters to the track.
Let's go to the NASCAR studio.
They go to Charlotte, and they don't even fake it, man. Put up a fake screen. Do a green screen behind the announcers and make them look like they're in the booth. Instead, they stack some old tube TVs on top of each other and then stand the three idiots in front of it like y'all pretend you're at the track. Everything they say makes it sound like they're at the track. We all know they're not at the track. Your coverage sucks. Sucks. Like, why do you even want to keep it? Let the truck series go to Flow Racing. They would do such a better job. That's my rant for the day. See what you did to me, Matt Smith, 23-23?
I don't think Matt Smith really watches racing.
Well, he loves 23.
I challenge you, Matt Smith, to a game of quarters at the Walgreens in Fayetteville. Winner take all.
At Chris Hansen 48 replied to Matt Smith with, I wouldn't expect NASCAR on NBC to not even show the command the flyover. Hopefully that was just a one-time thing. And Matt Smith replied to him, I'm really hoping that NBC makes a statement about it or gives an explanation to why they did that.
Fox do nothing but sick the old man on.
They don't need to give you an explanation, Matt. I'm sorry, dude. I mean, he's got his whole segment now. Racing Bed Good. He's a buddy of mine on Twitter. He said, threat of rain, take a chill pill. They moved the start up so you wouldn't be complaining they didn't try everything they could to get the race in / prevent delays because it's a late start to begin with on a Sunday.
I did hate the late start, dude.
I agree, Alan. That was stupid that they had to start so late. Like, people have jobs. And I'll be honest, stage 3, I was on the couch. I was struggling to stay awake. I was dozing it. By 10 o'clock when the race ended, I didn't watch a lot of post-race. I watched post-race coverage on NBC Peacock this morning on the replay because I was out. I went to sleep, man. I couldn't do it no more.
My dog had diarrhea.
That's a bad night.
Like at Love's in Arkansas.
When you started on the wall.
El Kirby had to go out like every hour.
Hey, ain't nothing worse than sharding on the wall.
Well, if you're going to do it at fake Love's.
Yep. Don't do it at a real Love's.
Nope.
So, Bob Pockrest tweeted out, Chastain wins Cup race at Nashville.
Do you notice the last 3 letters of his last name spell ass?
Well, the last 4 letters spell Rass.
Ass is funnier.
The last 5 letters spell crass. And the whole thing spells Pockrass.
Podcast.
At Seth Cole 33. Hey, noon start time crowd. Got the race in with no problems. Cry me a river. Like, what's the point? This guy is like a major dick. This is what's wrong with Twitter. Bob Pockris said Chastain wins Cup race at Nashville. His first response and the first thing that came to his mind is to talk crap about another group of NASCAR fans on Twitter, the people who think it should start at noon, which is a large group of NASCAR. So Seth, after the race is over, he thinks it's a great idea. Hey, I got a good idea. I'm a NASCAR fan. Maybe I can go talk crap to other NASCAR fans and try to piss them off.
Sounds
Seth,
like you were successful, Seth.
yeah, obviously he's pissed me off.
But you know, he's got 33 there. Do you think it's his age? Or he knows the secret?
It's probably his age.
Secret to success, dude.
See year he was born.
You know what you do with number 33?
What?
All right, look, I'm not going to do it to you. Give you bad luck. Anything you want. I want you to say it over and over in your head while you tap your third eye.
Okay.
Like this. Look, 33 times, because that's a Jesus number. That's how old Jesus was when he died. You go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to go to 33, but it gives you this little euphoria.
Yeah.
And your mind expands, dude.
Huh. That's like that stuff Joe Rogan takes.
Just got to, well, there's no drugs here. You just think of what you want and you'll get it.
Yeah.
That's in the Bible, dude.
Nah, that sounds like BS.
Try it.
Okay.
What do you want?
What I want is Seth Cole, 33, to stop picking fights with other NASCAR. Like,
I wish Seth Cole
I'm
would
just
drink
saying-
too much Bud Light and fall face first into the urinal at
Talladega.
Garth Brooks' bar.
Did you see Garth Brooks was on Tyler Reddick's car?
I didn't see Bud Light on it, though.
Nope, but Garth was.
You know, his partners realize business is business, and let's not participate in this Bud Light thing.
We're gonna get in trouble again by Joey 22222 for talking bad about Garth Brooks again on our show. I mean, he was home. Joey said he was homeless, and I started reading.
Joey?
No, the Joey who was mad at us on YouTube for talking crap about Garth Brooks.
How can he listen to us if he's homeless?
You know, because we're the #1 podcast amongst homeless people, Jamie.
That's true.
That was
Is
season
he
1.
from L.A.?
Maybe. I bet he has a
Or the
Pringles can.
overpass in
I
downtown
bet he has.
Atlanta.
I bet he has a Pringles can that he carries around with him.
They call that his lockbox.
At Evil Rick
Evil
responded to Bob Pockris's Chastain wins Cup race at Nashville tweet with no pre-race, not a good idea, very disappointed.
Rick. Okay.
At
I guess he didn't watch a single race on Fox.
hey, whatever. He can go pound sand. I don't care. At Pelosi 24 says happy for Ross, but that was a boring race.
At Pelosi.
I don't know how to say it.
Oh.
We're going to go with that. Jeff Gluck's poll, 82% yes, 18% no. Jeff said, was Nashville a good race? At USMC NASCAR Fire said, started off boring. After the first stage and the sun went down, it woke up. But did you catch any of that IMSA race? Wow. I didn't catch any of that IMSA race. Did you, Jamie?
I recorded it. It was okay.
It wasn't wild.
But you know what I really...
I'm thinking this NASCAR Fire guy's from our United States military.
He's got that
He's
USMC?
probably from the Marine
Or is
Corps.
that USMAC instead of USAC?
I think that's United States Marine Corps.
Well, I don't agree with you, but thanks for
serving.
serving our country.
I thought it started out boring, the race.
IMSA race? Did you watch that?
No, but I'm saying I agree with his statement about the Cup race.
Well, I was expecting a wreck fest like the Xfinity.
I was too.
First segment.
LB Lee 58 said
We know him. We used to work for him.
went to bed before the race ended.
Okay.
And I had already watched the best race of the day earlier in the action-packed 6-hour IMSA race. So,
I'm going to be honest. I just watched the recap.
well,
It was a good recap.
TRAW15_ and at Aaron Brumbra both attacked this LB Lee 58 guy because he had an opinion different than theirs. And I just wanted to point that
There's
out.
a lot of hate on Twitter.
It's like, I got it when you had like Chase Elliott fans arguing with Kyle Busch fans or
So
something
that's
like that.
NASCAR there.
But you just have straight out NASCAR fans who are dicks attacking other NASCAR fans for no apparent reason whatsoever. And it's not cool. Like, there's enough division in this country already. Let's not divide NASCAR fans either. Like,
I've decided
why can't NASCAR be a political party? Why don't we come together as fans, create some happiness in this dang country? Instead, y'all all wound up pissing me off today with your stupid takes.
Jeez. Say, I was thinking about this during our 15 minutes.
I'm done with Twitter says for today. I done got all pissed off.
Wow.
That's what I think about you Twitter idiots. There's a lot of idiots on Twitter.
Trolling you, dude.
They definitely are.
Just trolling you.
We're going to Chicago, Jamie. We're not, but somebody is.
You got to be careful picking
What's the best hotel they can stay in not to get shot at in Chicago?
I changed it up a little bit because I found this. I Googled the best hotel in Chicago and read the reviews.
Were they really good?
No. Well, this one's kind of funny. Flat Out Karen. Flat Out Karen.
Oh, Karen.
She's Lisa B. And if you Google the absolutely best hotels in Chicago, this review is buried in the top 5. It's fancy, dude. You might even get like a butler or handmaid in there.
What?
Handmaid.
What's that?
Oh, that's a handmaid.
You had to pay extra for that?
I'm not
sure.
Does
that come at the end of the massage?
I'm not sure what they do. It's a show we're watching. It's based on a book I read way back in college.
The Handmaid Twins?
Something like that. Handmaid's Tale.
That ain't on that Pornhub.
That was one of no. That was one of the few books I read it all. I read first chapters and got into it and did not buy Cliff Notes. So I read the whole thing.
What's it called?
The Handmaid's Tale.
Never read it.
If you read it,
I read Motley Crue, The Dirt.
Well, go get Handmaid's Tale. It's kind of where we're headed here in America.
Is it similar to The Dirt?
It's prophetic.
Oh yeah, I'm a Christian, man. I don't get into all that stuff.
I think Christians believe in prophets.
Oh, I thought you said pornographic.
Oh, some parts of the Old Testaments are pornographic too. Anyway,
all right, let's get back to Karen.
Lisa B, 1 out of 5.
At a good hotel.
She states, this is not a bad hotel, but a bad experience. It is a 5-star hotel, but what happened to me should not be allowed.
Uh-oh.
I think it should happen to her. I don't like Karen B, Lisa.
Was she sex trafficked?
No, none of that.
That Mexican restaurant we went to up the street?
No, they
closed it down because the people in there were they were not sex trafficking girls, they were labor trafficking them. So they were bringing them here from Mexico, making them work
for free. The Griffin
free.
Mexican or the Fayetteville Mexican?
The Fayetteville one.
Jeez.
That sombreros or whatever, sabaneros we went to.
Wow.
Anyway, it made me, Lisa B made me think. It had really good, authentic Mexican food.
She kind of goes down the immigrant lane here.
My mom went yesterday. It's still open. She said the food isn't that good anymore.
Well, she says she wants us to know she's very wealthy. You can tell just by reading Karen here.
Well, she stayed at a 5-star hotel.
I was asleep in the presidential suite, and at 3:30 a.m., some immigrant was banging on my door, like at the Mexican restaurant in Fayetteville. No, it doesn't say that. Like it's the FBI investigating secret documents. I think they came earlier.
Yeah.
I was appalled. Karen was appalled. How dare he? Yeah, Karen, how dare he? Didn't he know what this suite cost? I'm sure he did if he worked there.
Apparently not.
How did he even have access to this floor? Effing peasant.
Oh, dude. You got called a peasant at the race that year.
I did.
Not an effing peasant.
She must be a Ferrari driver.
Maybe that was Lisa B.
Have you noticed that the Ferrari drivers are a-holes?
I just think it's funny that somebody calls you an effing peasant as they get on public transportation.
Oh, that's funny.
With you. You effing peasant.
So they open the door and this foreigner is screaming in some god-awful language and rushes into the suite and goes straight to the safe. Ooh, he knows where the money is.
Yeah.
I call security. He has no clue who my husband and I are.
Obviously not.
You're Karen and he's man Karen.
Yeah.
Security arrives, and they both speak this gutter language. Jeez.
Gutter language.
She is mean, dude. And now the security guard is headed to the safe. WTF. The indignity. Yes, the indignity.
Well, if that's where the other guy's at, wouldn't you want the security guard to go get him?
I would think so. It's closed, and the security guard asked me if I'm using it. That was nice of him. I replied, no. My valuables are too valuable for that middle-class fakery. What the hell? Middle-class fakery. I hate that stuff. That's called politics.
Yeah.
Middle-class fakery. My jewelry is in the hotel safe where people of my class keep true valuables.
Okay.
Ooh.
I didn't know there was no such thing.
The peasant guard tells me he is a retired CBD dealer. Oh, no, CPD. I think that means Chicago Police Department.
He's a CBD dealer.
Yeah.
Retired at that.
I don't care if you're the sitting president. You still work for people like me. Wow.
I bet she
Wow.
owns a couple senators.
He uses his radio and speaks his gibberish. And they reply in gibberish. You know, foreign peasant BS. Wow. They open the safe, and there's a small cooler inside. Huh, that is really weird. I was thinking like the Hope Diamond. I ask if that's someone's kidney. CPD peasant replies, no, he's in culinary school, and it's a sourdough starter. Now, I read this. Did you know almost all sourdough in the world came from the same starter in Europe?
No.
They take little pinches of it, and they keep making it.
Okay.
I was confused because I didn't know that.
So
there's like Chicago sourdough, German sourdough, San Francisco sourdough.
Well,
Very
I can
famous.
see why they would keep it in the safe, but
Yeah.
why in the presidential suite, I don't know.
Well, CBD peasant replies, oh, I already did that. I reply, you mean this peon was able to stay in the suite and he is learning to flip burgers? I don't think
he's making pizza, lady.
Have you had a sourdough burger?
Maybe.
It's interesting. I haven't. I don't think. The indignity.
Dignity.
I screamed at them and told them, you think January 6th was bad? I'm about to give both of you 7 years of hellfire.
Dun, 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 dun.
I Googled hellfire.
Dun, dun, dun,
That's where I found out Ben Franklin was a sex club in England.
Ben
Because of
Franklin had
this-
sex in England at a club called
We'll discuss this more next
Hellfire.
week. Just a side note, little teeny, not very deep rabbit hole.
You talking about Ben Franklin's wiener?
Now,
Oh.
Brad and I will be celebrating the evening of July 3rd when we make our podcast before the 4th. You need to watch the podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, you're going to want to watch it.
You're going to want to see it.
That's all we're going to say, though.
All I'm going to say is America!
America. Best president, 1776. We are the champs.
Well,
George Washington, my hero.
Ben Franklin.
George Washington Carden, great-great-great-grandfather.
Elon Musk of the 1700s. Anyway, at which point, after she said she's going to give him 7 years of hellfire, 3 men I didn't know were in the hallway rushed into the room with guns drawn. Holy smoking hootie. The CPD, my dyslexia is killing me with the
Kicking your
CPD.
butt.
The Chicago Police Department guy, security guy, said, ma'am, this is a prince from Kuwait learning to become a chef. Well, that makes sense. That's why he's in the presidential suite. He needs a sourdough to go back to Kuwaiti.
Obviously, she's just pissed off because somebody of
She just
higher
found out
stature.
someone's dick is bigger than hers.
Yeah.
This is my favorite part, though.
That's such a Hillary Clinton thing to do.
Look at this, though. I just want people to know this place does not treat people equally. What the heck,
she
lady?
don't treat people
You
equally.
just pissed off the whole freaking world with your Karenness.
You're gibberish, jabberish, bruja.
She must mean billionaires. They don't treat billionaires equally.
I don't know.
Anyway.
A lot of gibberish going on here with this woman.
She just wants people to know they don't treat them equally, even though she's a racist. Timor wrote,
Timor.
and this is, I'm telling you guys, before you get a room in Chicago, you need to look at the reviews. There's a lot of
Timor.
crap. Timor gives it a 1 out of 5. The stay was horrible. The check-in staff was pretty friendly. That's the only positive. Stayed at this particular hotel on Saturday for one day. I stayed in room 106 to be exact. Upon entering the room, I was slapped in the face with a strong odor of urine.
Oh,
That's usually what happens when you go to less than 3 stars.
thank God that's what slapped him in the face, because I was expecting worse.
I'm
than
thinking
that.
3.8 is your cutoff line. That's just me personally. I'm not being man-Karen here.
Well, we've been through some rough.
Didn't think too much of it, just thought maybe it's the carpet. The bathroom sink was clogged to the point that whatever was clogging it was coming back up the drain. Very gross. The cupboard smelled. I think she meant cupboard, but I can't put words in her mouth because I can be sued. The cupboard smelled like urine
Yeah, I'm thinking
and
she
the
meant
pillows. At about 3 in the morning, as I was experiencing an orgasm, trust me, it took me a long time to get in the mood because of the state of the room. I trust her.
This is a dude. How you know this is a woman?
I'm guessing. I'm hoping.
No, this is a dude.
I heard a knock on the door.
I heard that too.
I didn't answer the door because
There's a
I'm
ghost in the
sound like
studio.
a condensate pump pumping out.
Maybe it's the air conditioner. It's been running the whole time.
I didn't answer the door because I'm thinking that it's someone with the wrong door. Because we didn't answer my door. It was being opened from the outside.
This is.
It's a woman.
This is.
This is why I know it's a woman. My boyfriend jumped up to see what was going on, and it was a male worker.
But that doesn't mean necessarily just because he got a boyfriend don't mean it was a girl, dude.
Well, that's true.
How many women? It's just more likely it's a dude who's been jerking off all night till 3 in the morning.
With its boyfriend next to him?
Maybe. I mean, it took him till 3 in the morning to get there.
Well, dude, you're having blisters if you got to work it till 3 in the morning. I'm thinking it's a she, and she couldn't get the mood because the room was horrible.
Okay,
That's just my guess.
I can see where you're coming from. I give you that. Okay, I'm thinking it was a dude before I realized there was another dude in the room.
The
Dude or
worker
girl.
stated,
No dude's going to be in the room with his girlfriend and jerk off for 8 hours.
not without hurting himself. Man, that's kidney damage there, dude.
I mean, you're just mad.
You might hurt your liver.
You're mad at the world at that
You
point.
pound the puppy for that many hours, your liver's going.
You're going to throw out a shoulder and an elbow.
You'd grow an extra toe on your hand. The worker stated.
You beat off so long you grew an extra toe.
The worker stated that he wanted to know when it was his turn. Oh my goodness.
To beat off?
Or whatever.
Well, he just
My
go to the room
boyfriend
next door.
punched him in the throat. Good for him. I think that's a good reaction. Male or female.
Yeah.
Then he lied and said he was told to check this room because he needed a place to stay. Well, they have homeless people working there.
Apparently.
That was very scary, especially with all my belongings being in there.
Well, you're laying
Well,
there.
how about...
You think that's why it's scary? I think
Or your boyfriend offered to share you at the front check-in. That's scary too.
Maybe it's scary because you're sitting there getting off and some dude pops in. That would be scary to me. Not because my stuff was everywhere. These people, they say the dumbest things. It's like that Dave Chappelle skit where he's like, crackheads when they're dying say the dumbest things like, dude, you shot me. Well, people when they leave hotel reviews, they say the dumbest things. Whoa there, hi-ho, Silver.
Ooh, I bumped the mixer. Didn't press a button though.
Thank God. Hopefully that's fixed.
That's very scary, especially... Oh, I already read that.
Yeah.
Good thing I have my boyfriend who knows what would have happened. Does that mean he already knew, or is that a question? She didn't put a question mark there.
I think her boyfriend set this whole thing up. He was trying
To seem like
have
a
a-
superhero?
either that or maybe he had set up a little rendezvous with a third person at 3 a.m. and
Sounds like some Benjamin Franklin
she
crap
wasn't
there.
into that. So he all of a sudden goes, dude's breaking in, kill him.
At the Hellfire Club.
Yeah.
You know what else popped up with the Hellfire Club when Hellfire is all I Googled. It's a missile.
Yeah, I knew that.
It's like a penis, dude.
I knew it was a missile. I played Call of Duty, man.
Do you think they
You
named it
call
after
it a Hellfire attack.
Ben Franklin's whole
Did you
club?
never play Call of Duty?
I do. I still do.
What's your favorite one?
Oh, D-Day.
World War II.
Yep.
That was my favorite too. I still go back and play it. That was by far the last. In my opinion, that was. Then they did that Royal Battle Royale crap. Now I hate Call of Duty. They've screwed it up royally. Battle Royale screwed it up.
Well, Timor, overall stay was horrible. My boyfriend and I and me decided before we left we would both urinate on the carpet.
That don't make you any better.
Sounds like she belongs in this 2-star hotel, doesn't it?
That's why she was there. This is her kind of place. I would never urinate on the floor, no matter how bad of a stay it was.
I mean, if I was passed out and drank too much, but I haven't been there in a long time.
Well, there was this one time I got really drunk. Me and my cousin were down in Florida. I think my wife might have been there. His wife might have been there too. But I got up in the middle of the night to go pee. And I was intoxicated still. I think I just peed in the corner. Called it quits. Or maybe I walked down the hall and peed. I can't remember. But I peed in the floor somewhere.
Now, I do remember being so drunk in college at a party.
Did you pee in the floor?
I had to pee. No, I didn't pee on the floor. And the bathroom door was unlocked, but it was occupied. So I peed in the tub. I'm like, dude, I really gotta go. Excuse me.
Pick your legs up. I know you're pooping, but I got to pee. All right, Chicago Street Course. Racing that this weekend for the first time in Chicago. Races at 5:30 p.m. on NBC and MRN. It's a 2.14-mile street course. There is no average finishes here. There is no past history here.
Have you looked at a map of it? If they took one barrier out, you'd have a figure 8.
Oh, yeah. What do you think? What are you expecting this weekend, Jamie?
I did the iRacing YouTube view of what they created.
It was a shish show on iRacing.
I don't think you can go side by side.
I think it's going to be a follow the leader bumper car event.
Not wreck and win at pit. That's who's going to win.
Yeah, whoever can not wreck the whole race.
And has the best pit team.
I hope it's good, man. They are really building this thing up like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
It might be.
It very well could be good. I really, really do hope it's good, though. I think it can't be bad for the sport if it's good. I hope nobody gets hurt. I hope nobody gets shot. I
hope the car finally performs.
It's not. I hope nobody's car trailer gets stolen. I mean, I have no issues this weekend.
I hope no driver or even people in the
I hope no driver
get hurt.
I hope no driver gets stolen.
Good.
Somebody kidnapped Kyle. Hey, Kyle Larson's running a Cars Tour race. Did you see that?
I did.
I sent it to you.
Isn't it Thursday this week?
Wednesday. Caraway Speedway. He's running a second Dell Junior Motorsports. Let me rephrase that.
There is no way in hell we can go, Brad. This last weekend was the first weekend above 90.
I ain't worried about it. I have a Flow Racing subscription. So I will be at home watching it. Janet and Eric now have Flow Racing. They're going to be at home watching it.
Who's Eric's favorite driver? We know who Janet's is. The La Jolla.
Chips La Jolla.
Yeah.
Eric, can you send us a DM and let us know who your favorite driver is, please?
I'm curious. Yeah. I wonder if there's conflict in the household on Sundays.
Well, if he didn't like Corey LaJoie, that could cause conflict.
I think even if it's not his favorite driver, he likes him. Kind of like us. I like Corey LaJoie.
Well, how could you not?
I would like him to win. I know we went down a rabbit hole and ragged on him when he drove the 9 car.
But that was the low-hanging fruit.
It was so low.
It was just easy.
It was on the ground, dude. We had to kick it to get it on the ground.
It was all in fun, though.
Yeah. But anyway.
Eric's going to let us know his favorite driver is.
Yeah.
I really don't know. Well, who's your favorite driver now?
You know,
I don't know that I have one right now, to be honest with you.
I like Kyle Larson, but he is plain Jane in interviews.
I mean, Kyle Busch is...
I want a vocal driver. I want a vocal driver.
That's kind of why I've enjoyed being a Kyle Busch fan this year. I mean, he's not a whiny prick like he's been in the past. So
I want Noah to bring back that Xfinity personality.
I do too. But
Noah, win a race.
You have to be in good equipment to have that personality.
Well, and he's a rookie too.
You can't be in crappy equipment and have Noah's cocky arrogance that he had in the Xfinity Series. He knew he could win any given day in the Xfinity Series.
I think it took him down a notch coming to Cup.
I do too. I think I don't know that. I don't know that it's a bad move because next year they're moving to Toyota. I mean, I think you get Noah and some good equipment
Can
even
you
in the Cup
imagine
Series.
all the data they're
He-
going to get from
Well,
Gibbs?
he can go ahead and get his rookie year out of the way, all his rookie mistakes, all that crap out of the way now.
Toyota ought to give him a Supra so he can get used to it.
I'm sure.
I know they're all the same car with stickers.
Yeah. It's just,
But
it ain't a big difference
I'm
anymore.
just trying to get him a free car.
I'm sure he got a car out of the
It'd
deal.
be a business expense.
He got a Camry, a Corolla,
From
a 1996
what about
Corolla.
that little teeny one that's like smart, the Yarius?
The Yarius? Yeah. They probably gave me a used one.
Well, they're still driving Chevys right now.
All right, last week, fantasy picks. I had Kyle Larson for 5 points, William Byron for 6 points, and Denny Hamlin for 3 points for a total of 14. Remember, the lower number is the winner.
Reddick just murdered me. You had great picks, too, though.
Yeah. Well, last week, Jamie had Chase Elliott for 4 points, Gibbs for 14 points, and Reddick for 30 for a total of 48 points. Overall points, I have 696, and Jamie has 757.
Dude,
You get to pick first this week, Jamie.
I'm going to make it easy for you.
Okay.
You're going to just smear your pants with feces.
Okay. Well, that's
Same people in the order that I picked.
Elliott, Gibbs, Reddick.
Let's see if I can do that. Let's verify. Elliott, yes. Gibbs, yes. Reddick, we know I can pick him.
So you're going the same exact
Yeah,
people?
that's top 10, mid 10, and bottom 10. Yeah, bottom 16. Falls right in there.
That is insane.
I think any one of those three has a legitimate chance to win on a road course.
All right, I'm going with Truex.
Good pick. He's good on road courses.
I'm going with man, this next one was hard. I actually was wanting to go with Ty Gibbs. I will go with Daniel Soras. I don't think I've picked him all year.
Well, he's got extra motivation after he doesn't have a win and his buddy does.
Yep.
And he wrecked trying to congratulate him. That's pretty embarrassing.
And then you already went with Reddick. Reddick's a great pick.
Yeah. He's a good driver. You know what? I'm going to take back what I said about Noah. This year, it's Reddick. It's my favorite driver.
He's a great pick for here, too. All right, I think I will go with Kevin Harvick.
Do you think he and his crew chief can pull it off? Because the rest of their team sucks.
There's really not anybody else that I think can pull it off either. So I'm giving Harvick. I'm throwing him a bone. I'm giving him a pick. Maybe it works out for me. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? But I think it's a good pick regardless.
Have you ever had Hunt Brothers Pizza?
I think I have. You get it at a gas station, right?
Right. I don't think I've ever had Hunt Brothers.
I feel like I've had it. You ever had Partners Pizza?
No.
That's really good. We need to go to Partners Pizza. We have one.
I'm real curious about Hunt Brothers. Is it just a frozen pizza?
It's not great from what I
okay?
remember. It's like Little Caesars. Remember how Little Caesars, $5 hot and ready's?
In my head, I think Little Caesars is better than Hunt Brothers in my head.
At the Loves in Arkansas,
Do they have Hunt
they
Brothers?
had Hunt's Brothers Pizza. And that's where the woman, that lady and her brother were fighting over it. They had just got married, and they were fighting over who was going to get the first slice. It was burnt. It was cheese pizza, and it was brown. It was literally burnt, and they were fighting over it.
I wonder if you ordered a full one, if they cook it right there so you don't end up with a hot lamp.
I think Hunt's Brothers cooks all their pizzas at one central location in Idaho.
I think they're from Kentucky or Ohio.
And ships it out. Oh, I can see Ohio. And ships it out to every gas station in every little podunk town in America. I think we got Hunt's Brothers down the street, man.
At the gas station?
Yeah.
I wonder where I got Red Bull last time.
I don't know. Where'd you get Red Bull?
That gas station, a little island as you're coming over here from up north. I was working up north, picked up the Red Bull, and
that's not the one.
that was really dirty. It's clean outside, but dude, you go inside.
It's like if you're going down
like
towards,
that lady's hotel she peed in.
go down 92, like you're heading towards Griffin. I think you go
The
home.
river?
Like you going home that way,
You think the river has Hunt Brothers or the one before it?
the one before it.
That used to have a wholesale nursery, but they shut it down?
Yes. The one across the street from the nursery,
Okay.
from the strawberry farm.
Okay.
They got, with a smiley face on the roof.
I'll check on the drive home tonight.
They got Hunt's Brothers. So that's all I got, man.
That's all I got, except for don't forget to watch the video on the 4th of July.
Then watch this video.
We're all about America.
You want to watch all our videos. Watch our shorts.
You should like and subscribe, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this, you should go and watch it too.
I would listen to it while I'm driving around on the podcast and then watch it on YouTube because, you know, sometimes you want to put a face with a name. Sometimes, have you ever talked to someone on the phone when we're out prospecting and you're like, ooh, this is a big dude. He's probably used to wrestle before he started an air conditioning company. And you get there, he's like 5'2", but he's like as round as a cannonball.
But he talks like this.
That's that real macho man, Randy Savage.
Hey, Brad, glad to meet you.
All right. Well,
I can't wait to go to Longhorn, Brad.
just want to thank everybody who listens to the show, watches each week on YouTube, shares the show on social media, shares it with their friends. We greatly appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who follows us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, check out all our videos.
We don't have a large base of haters on Twitter. How is that possible?
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of. I mean, we talk crap about people all. We do the Twitter says every week.
I'm looking at Twitter right now. I mean,
nobody hates us on Twitter. It's YouTube where we get the hate.
Hey, look, Janet tweeted her and her friends.
Yeah, it was her and Deb. They all listen to the show.
Yeah, that's Deb who wanted to kill me. We're buddies now.
They were all going to kill you.
Deb and I are buddies now.
Yeah, they actually hung out over the weekend, so hopefully they all had a good time.
It looks like she had a good time too.
Yeah, she even said she had a good time right there. So yeah. So yeah, thanks to everybody who follows us on Twitter and doesn't hate us on Twitter. And thanks Deb for not beating Jamie up. He greatly appreciates it. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe,
Got a long
check out all
driveway
our videos.
Be hard to get to me.
Check us out on Spotify and rate us. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review like Brandon did. You can send us a DM, email us, tweet us, whatever you want. Our email is
like us,
subscribe us, whatever you want to do to us. Yes. Our email address is racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com. You can email us there.
Remember the password.
Oh, that's your fault. I got it saved in my phone. Make sure to check out our merch store.
I'm on Prevagen now. I'll get it.
We have Cooter Shooter stickers.
Oh, yeah.
Janet, yours is in the mail. Don't worry. Check out our store. It's at racecarbbackwards.com.
Do you have her address?
Yeah, I took care of it.
Okay.
I got you, man.
All right.
No sweat. Other than that, guys, that's all I got. Y'all have a great week, and we will see you next week for episode 67. See you guys. Bye.
Adios, as Suarez would say.
You just listened to Race Car spelled backwards. For that, we thank you.